Hello! I am so sorry. I was stuck in traffic, but here I am. I have arrived. How are you? What's going on? Talk to me. First of all, how is everyone? Because I know the finale last night was emotional, to say the least. I know I was an emotional wreck. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm still learning how to use all of the features on Insta Live. And I'm going to attempt to use them better today than I have before. So I know there's the questions thing. And I know people can send questions. So there's the questions tab. So if you have questions for me, send them in the little questions button, because then I can look at them better. Even comments, because they're just clearer that way. And I can look through them. They don't scroll by as quickly. All that jazz. Yes, I love you. My favorite scene. I have a lot of favorite scenes in the finale, but I have to say, and I don't know if it's because it was the last scene that we shot, and I don't know if it's because my emotions were matching my character's emotions at that point, but the scene with Tom, my brain is amok today, with Jason Clary dancing at the Malik wedding, when we have the book quotes, when they finally profess their love, it's just a really beautiful scene, and it kind of made everything come full circle for me, you know, having this entire group of people and building this relationship on screen and all of these wonderful things. It all came to fruition in that moment, and that was really lovely. But yes. Let me see. How many takes did I do filming the scene where everyone's in a circle screaming on fire? How many takes did I do of that? We did quite a few, actually, because oh yeah, that was a long night. We had to figure out how to shoot that scene, because technically it was very difficult, because you have 8 people and 3 cameras, and we were on a time crunch, right? But the great thing about that is the Shadowhunters crew is kick-ass, and we had a great team of actors, and Todd Slavkin's a genius, and is such a team player. So we put it all together and pulled it out. But we did a lot, actually. It was very funny. We did that, and it's funny watching it with everyone, because we all reminisce. It's like a scrapbook, right? You're reminiscing and seeing as you go. Oh, that's cool. I like this questions tab. Now I know how to use it. I'm gonna get... How tall am I? Last time I checked, I am 5'5". Sometimes I'm 5'5.5" in the mornings. Because you're taller in the morning before gravity, you know. It's a science thing. My mom's a scientist. Let me see. Next question. You are so sweet with this comment about my eyelashes. I think you guys can see this question, right? At the bottom of the screen? I hope so. I think that's what's supposed to happen. They are my lashes. I just have a really great mascara that I throw a couple swipes on, and a really great eyelash curler. So the eyelash curler I use is a Shuamura eyelash curler, and the mascara is just Lash Bloom CoverGirl. What color do I want to dye my hair? I'm sort of missing the red lately, you know? It's very funny. I love being blonde, and I love changing my hair color, and it's for work, so I do it anyway. But I kind of miss the red sometimes, and I don't know if it's because I'm watching Shadowhunters and it makes me miss it, or because naturally I have a bit more red in my hair. But I do kind of miss it. But I've never been brunette, so that would be fun as well. That's why I love wigs, because then you can just keep playing. Next question. I like this, you guys. Can I come to Oz Comic Con? I would love to come to Oz Comic Con. I went last year, year before last. I've been before. They're lovely people. It would be great. But that is not up to me. Gosh, you guys have so many great questions. What is my favorite Malik moment? You know, it's funny you ask this question, because I think about this a lot, actually. because I do love so many of the Malik moments. Is it weird that I love their first meeting? When Alec is shooting demons and Magnus comes in and just saves it, and they don't know each other yet, but there's that little spark that you see, and they have this little, flirty, quippy moment, and then off they go to fight more demons. I also love their last scene together, because you have the "to us," and I've been crying like a baby off and on all day today, so please excuse me. They just did such an incredible job. If I had a superpower, what would it be? I would like the power to heal, actually. I think it's one that people forget a lot about, and it's something that I could use, given the klutz that I am. I also think teleportation would be awesome. Why doesn't Mia smile? Interesting you say that, because it's actually something that I threw in there to smile less, because it's something that I know Steven did with Oliver. And it's one of those little Easter eggs that I'm trying to bring in melding the two characters together to create the Olicity baby. Nice that you noticed. What was my favorite moment to film with Luke? I assume you mean Luke Baines, the actor, as opposed to Luke, played by Isaiah Mustafa. How many times do you think we got that confused? Happened quite a lot. Ooh, my favorite thing to film with Luke. I really loved the first bit that we had. We had a lot of fun. Any of the scenes that were just Luke and I in the apartment. Because anytime we did that, we had such a fun time playing with the sort of cat and mouse of Clary and Jonathan's relationship based on the different stages that they were at in Clary's development toward evil and in Jonathan's kind of learning about the world and his rise to power and all of that. And I just had so much fun playing with Luke. But any scene I get to shoot with Isaiah Mustafa is a treat, so there's that too. Okay, so I feel like I do need to address this because I've seen a lot of commentary on it. And I definitely want to know what you guys think. Someone says, can you tell us a little more about the end of Shadowhunters? So the last scene, I don't know how you guys felt about it. But when I first read it, I was a little curious. And I said, okay, we have to make sure that we don't discount everything that's happened to Clary. And everything that we've built over the last several seasons. And they said, absolutely, just trust us, let's go with it. So I did, and I think in the end, it turned out really beautifully. Especially given the fact that the show ended in such a bittersweet way. To have an ending that's a little bit bittersweet, to have an ending that is open for discussion and open to interpretation, which is what the Shadow fam does best. Because in essence, what you have is, it comes down to being about Clary and Jace's connection. And having that circuitous nature of the fact that this all started with Jace and Clary bumping into each other in an alley. You have at the very end, Jace and Clary bumping into each other in an alley. You have this girl who's not supposed to be able to see, but she can somehow because of her connection with the person, because of their electricity, because of their love and their spark. And that, the fact that they belong, they see each other, they understand each other. That is beyond anything. That is beyond runes, beyond angelic spite, beyond any punishment passed down by Raziel, beyond any rules of any supernatural world. It's just like Malik. You know, their love literally changed the course of how the world was supposed to work. Clace very much might have done the same. In that you see those little smirks, you see those sparks of recognition. And no matter what happened in the past, that leads to the future, and it leads to what can happen next for them. And maybe Clary learns about the shadow world, but she's still a mundane. Maybe her memories come flooding back. Maybe she never forgot it all and has just been playing along to appease Raziel. We don't know. But the fact that we get to speculate and discuss and let the show live on and let the story live on in our imaginations and in the community that you guys have created, that's why I love the ending. Was I told what would have been happening in season 4? I was told a few things, and I actually had a little bit of a plan for Clary. Hey, angels. I don't know what happened there. I'm so sad because I lost all of your great questions. So send all of your questions back to me all over again, because we'll get started back where we left off. I don't know what happened. I think my Wi-Fi dropped out. Anyway, regardless of that, here's what I was answering, was what would have happened to Clary in season 4. And how it was all about redemption for her, for going to the dark side and for going through all of those things. I wanted to take Clary into a direction of going full military, full soldier, full in the guise, almost Alex season 1, in the sense that in order to make up for the things that she had done, she was going to fight for what was right and fight for the shadow world and fight for everything, and maybe even fight to take down the Clave, or fight to, that seems to be Izzy's thing, and if Izzy was her parabatai, that would obviously be what they were doing. Can I just say, it's so funny to finally get to say all these things, because I've been keeping all of these secrets for so long. So I'm glad I get to tell someone. All right, back to your good questions. What's my favorite Clary? Good Clary or bad Clary? Listen, I love good Clary as much as the next girl. Bad Clary was so much fun. But I think my favorite Clary was the Clary, or would have been the Clary that happened in season 4. Because she had grown up, she'd been to the dark side, she'd come back, and she was on a mission. But hey, we'll let her live on in our imagination. Do I speak French? Not yet. But I'm learning French. And I thought I was going to have time to learn a lot more before the Paris convention this year. And I really need to get on it. But I'm going to try. You guys might just have to teach me next time I see you. Ooh, there's so many questions. If I could create one more scene, what would it be? We actually talked about this. So it's a little alteration. We've actually talked about this a lot. We have so many days on set where we talk about what could we do with these characters? What could we play with? And we have this idea of making somehow the Shadowhunters are stuck in a situation. They're stuck somewhere and they just have to sit and be stuck and deal with all of their issues and confront them all and just talk to each other. And maybe it's they're camping and they get stuck somewhere, or maybe they're, snowed in somewhere into Magnus's apartment and they have to just be. The power's out. For some reason, he can't portal anywhere and they're just stuck. It'd be fun. It's really just an excuse to all spend time together and play with these characters. Okay, oh my goodness, there's so many questions. Ooh, what is my favorite scene on Arrow? I really loved the scene with Emily at the end of episode 16, where we actually had our heart-to-heart for the first time. There's some really beautiful scenes in the finale coming up next week that I'm very excited for you guys to see. And some really badass scenes too, so stay tuned for that, for sure. What was the saddest scene in season 3? I think for me it's probably a tie between the last scene I shot with Luke, where Clary kills Jonathan, or the final scene that we shot, which was sort of the chunk of scenes, which was the Malik wedding reception. Because that was our last day on set, and that was the day I had to do the scene with Maris, where I ask her about angels and forgiveness, and where I say goodbye to Simon, and where I say goodbye to Jace. And from the moment I read those scenes, I knew they were going to be hard for me to get through, because Todd and Darren did such a beautiful job of writing them so close to my heart, as well as so close to Clary's, and so much of my relationship with Alberto, my relationship with Tom, my relationship with Nicola were woven into those scenes. Sorry, God. But not only was Clary saying goodbye to those characters, but I was, and to those relationships, and it just made me think about all of the memories that we had while we were shooting, and all of the amazing things I learned from these people who have meant so much to me. And it's not that I'm never going to see them again, and it's not that the fandom's going to go away. It's just the fact that the time you spend creating with those people is really special. And it's lightning in a bottle, and it's rarefied air, and it's one of those situations that time is fleeting, and it becomes so precious. And it's something I'm never going to forget, just because it was such a positive influence on my life. And because I love them. But Shadow Fam is for life. They're also beautiful scenes, so it's all a big bundle of emotions for sure. Oh, you had best believe that I'm going to stay in touch with the rest of the cast. Don't you worry. We are a firm family, and we are not going anywhere. I see these guys all the time. And that's the one thing that I hope we can all carry with us, is the fact that the Shadow Fam, be it us as a cast, or you guys as a fandom, or all of us together, or any iteration thereof, we've all shared something. We've all been on a journey together. We've all been through a process, and we've all been a part of the story. So we'll always be connected, and there's nothing that's ever going to change that. Do I believe there's a part of the shadow world that's real? I don't doubt that there could be. I mean, listen, there are enough stories about all this. And look, they make it work in the shadow world. It could exist. We could just not know. I mean, we could all be mundanes, or we could be, secret shadow hunters for all we know. Maybe there's more mothers like Jocelyn out there. If anybody ever figures it out, though, let me know, because I'd really, really like to know. And low-key, I really want to meet a warlock. Just saying. My goodness. Would I ever make a sequel? Yes. Yes, I would. If anyone were to bring this show or any iteration thereof around and would like me to be a part of it, I'm there. With this team, with these stories, these characters, it'll always be special to me, and it'll always be something that I would love to go back to if given the opportunity. Who's my favorite Shadowhunters character? I've said this time and time again. I mean, okay, to be fair, Shadowhunters is chock full of incredible characters. So you couldn't have a wrong answer to this question if you tried. But from reading the books and making the show, the Jonathan Sebastian character has always been my favorite. Just because he is such a beautifully tragic mess, and his story, I've never hated a character more when I read the books, just because he was so vile and so evil and just, I was so angry at Jonathan. Until the end. until the last book, until his last scene. And then he made me love him in a matter of about a minute. My mind was blown. That character earned my respect in that moment. Because I'd never experienced that with a character before. And then on top of that, to have Will Tudor and Luke Baines bring this character to life in such a beautiful way. And to be able to work with them a lot on creating this relationship and these characters, what more could I ask for? Ooh, okay, I have a question I'm going to think about. Oh my goodness. What do I think about the character of Lilith? Oh, it didn't click. Wait, come back. Wait. Oh, it couldn't be shared. That's weird. I think Lilith is awesome. Lilith was very hard to say. But Anna Hopkins kills it. So. Oh my gosh, you guys. I feel like I'm leaving so many moments. But there's so many good questions. It's hard to. I want to make sure I see as many as possible. What's the most important thing I learned from Clary? I think the most important thing I learned is that it's okay to not be perfect. And that you can find so much beauty in you can find a real beauty in the journey of making mistakes to figure out how to grow up. You know, there's something really beautiful in Clary's journey in that she makes a lot of mistakes, and she learns from them, and she moves on. But somehow, even though they're mistakes, somehow she finds the good in them, and she makes something good come of them. And that is something I had never thought about before. So there you go. I also learned how to fight with, daggers and stuff. Do I have a real life best friend like Simon? Yes, I have Alberto Rosende. I also have friends that I've known my entire life who have been there for me always, and yes. But yeah, Alberto is always the Simon to my Clary. The most awkward scene with Dom? Wait, why can't I share this? Wait, there it is. What was the most awkward scene with Dom? I wouldn't say this was awkward. I guess it was. Well, it was awkward because he gives me trouble about it now. So in the opening scene one of the opening scenes of the final episode, you see Jason Clary. There's like a flash of the two of us sleeping. So we shot that on a Sunday morning, and I was really sleepy, and I'm pretty sure I didn't get to bed soon enough the night before. So here I am yawning just thinking about it. I actually fell asleep during that, but so did Tom. He won't tell you he did, but he did too. But it was very funny because we both actually just took a little snooze. It was a very comfortable bed. They did well. Shout out to Set Deck. Did I cry in the End of Shadowhunters? Yes. On screen and off. I think that's the next question. Favorite book? So, I'll give you two, because I have two books that I absolutely adore. Well, there are many books I adore, but if I had to pick two. Watership Down by Richard Adams, and The Alchemist. I forget the author's name, but The Alchemist. See, am I missing anything in these comments? I'm almost sure I am. Let me just check. There's so many options of things to look at. Oh my gosh, you guys are so wonderful. Can I just say how much I adore the Shadow Fam? and how wonderful that I think you guys are for being here for us through all this and for being so enthusiastic. There's so many shows that when they end, people just give up and don't stick with it till the end, or they just let it fizzle out. But you guys have helped us go out with a bang, and that is really awesome. Wait, there's more questions up here, aren't there? You guys, wait 1 second. Hold on. Favorite song at the moment? What was I just listening to the other day? Hold on, I have to check my Spotify. Let's try this one more time, shall we? I don't know what's up. I have weird Wi-Fi, and sometimes it messes up. Can't count on Wi-Fi. Trust no Wi-Fi. Is that a thing? I don't know. What else can we do? Let's see. Oh, cool. There's still a bunch of stuff here. Yes, I'm going to continue to do Free Friday. Absolutely. Because there's so much fan art that I'm receiving for, like, even just sketches that people do that have nothing to do with characters, or stuff from Arrow, stuff from Shadowhunters. I just think your art is amazing. And I think you guys should have it blasted out on the internet, because it's really amazing. And the time that you put in there, I'm so grateful for you making me a part of your art, because it's such a beautiful thing that you do. So I'm going to keep putting it up if you guys keep wanting to see it. What's my favorite place in Paris? One of my favorite places in Paris was Notre Dame. Because when I first went there, I spent a lot of time walking around with the guys, and spent a lot of time there wandering around with Will and a bunch of people, and it's really special. And then we shot there. And every time I go to Paris, that's always been a landmark for me. So my heart goes out to everyone in Paris and everything you guys are going through, because I, from a very, very small perspective, understand. But I do love Paris in general. What's my favorite country to travel to? I don't know. I haven't traveled to enough countries yet. Do I like Stephen King books and movies? Yes, I do. I am a massive Stephen King fan, which is part of why I'm so super excited about it too. Shout out to Isaiah Mustafa, Papa Wolf Hunter, or Hunter Wolf. Is that what we're calling him now? Sure. I'm so excited, you guys. No, but I'm just such a huge fan of anything Stephen King. Yes. I saw that question. I had to jump in. Would love to come to Rome. Would love to go to England. All of these travels are very exciting to me. Have I been to Portugal? Yes. Do I love Riverdale? I do watch Riverdale. I like Riverdale. What did I like most in Brazil? Ooh. I really want to go back to Brazil. You know that? I was thinking about that. I was just talking to someone about that today. The food was amazing there. They took us to this incredible restaurant. I couldn't even tell you what it was, but we had the best food. But the people, you guys were really incredible, and I want to see more of the country. I want to see more of how beautiful it is. So I'm planning to come back one day. Chile, I would love to travel to Chile as well. They're all on my list, you guys. Would love to go to Spain. Never been. Honduras. Never been. Australia. Need to go spend more time there. I've not met Zia yet, and I really want to. But I think they're keeping her life pretty chill right now. I did see a picture last night, though. She's so beautiful. You guys. She's so beautiful. She's so awesome. Can I, like, already be the captain of the Zia fan club? Or at least a part of it? I'm just so happy for them because they're just one of my favorite couples ever and favorite people ever, and I think they're just going to be the best parents. I think the world of them. Anyway, I'll stop fangirling over my friends now. Do I like Italian food? I love Italian food. I like all these travel questions. Yes to all the travel. I'm actually going to be traveling a lot in Europe this summer. So if there's anywhere you guys think I should go, anything that's interesting to check out, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between the conventions. And I may just have some little adventures while I'm there instead of flying back and forth. So tell me what I need to see. My favorite Clary outfit. Okay, just for a brief moment, I want to discuss with you the wardrobe on Shadowhunters. Because every single department was incredible. But wardrobe I spent a lot of time with, obviously. And those people spent so much time, put so much thought into every single little detail. Every button on Magnus's pants. Every chain detail on Lorenzo's jackets. Every lapel on Alex's quiver jacket thing, and every zipper and lace in Clary's boots and jackets. And it got to the point where they knew each of us so well and our characters so well that they would make things. Clary's dress from Bone Chandelier, Clary's dress from the wedding, the jacket in 320 when she was fighting with the two swords, the two flaming swords, all made from scratch by our wardrobe department. They are beyond incredible and the best human beings and the most collaborative, creative, fun people. So just huge thank you and huge shout out. They deserve all the credit in the world. All right, you guys, I have about 5 more minutes. Talk to me, 5 minutes. What do you want to know? There's a rumor about your tattoos. Do you have rune tattoos? I do have rune tattoos. I have 3. Let me see if I'm flexible enough to get this in camera. Oh yeah, there it is. So I have the Angelic Rune for season 1, then Shapeshifter for season 2, and for season 3 I got Precision / Calm Anger. Boom. No, it's something that really meant a lot to me as I went through the series and as I started to... I never thought I'd get a tattoo, and then when Dom ended up getting one, we all ended up going, yeah, sure. So those are the rune tattoos. I also ended up, this one's a bit faded, so, wait, there it is. So this is a ginkgo leaf, and it's a bit faded now. But my great-grandmother had a ginkgo tree in her front yard, and it was her favorite thing. It was her prized thing that she took care of and just loved it so much. So it then became kind of a symbol for all the women in my family of us and of everything that we are to each other. And so every time somebody's walking down the street and sees a ginkgo leaf, we'll text it to the family group chat. And because I don't get to see my family as much anymore, and the women in my family have meant so much to me, I wanted to keep them close and keep them with me. And then I just ended up getting this other one, which I don't know if anybody caught it, but I used to wear this necklace all the time that had this on it. And my grandfather gave me that necklace when I was 16. And he wrote this beautiful card. He built an airplane And so it's what it is. It's an image of an attitude meter, which is the plain instrument. It's a flight instrument that tells how straight the wings are. And he wrote this beautiful card and said, as long as you keep your wings straight, you'll be fine. And I just love that sentiment, and he means so much to me. And so I wanted to keep that with me to just remind me to stay the course, even when the skies get rough. Okay. What would I do if I was called for a role in Game of Thrones? I would jump up and down and run around my house like a little girl, and then I would start working really hard. Because I love that show. By the way, okay, I'm not going to talk Game of Thrones because I know a lot of people haven't seen it. I know there's a lot of spoilers. I just cut up this morning, and I am thoroughly shook. My wig is gone. That's how the kids say it, right? I think so. Adam? I think I said that right? We'll see. By the way, also I have to give a big shout out to I'm Normally Adam and the other folks that do reactions, the Descent is Easy podcast, and all those other great folks that do the reactions and do these things that are also big fans of the show. I love listening and watching and seeing what you guys think, because that's one of my favorite things about the Shadow Fam, is that you guys are invested enough to really think about the show and discuss the show and absorb it in a way that goes beyond just sitting in front of your TV. So that means so much to me. So thank you. I love you guys. I don't know, I'm getting emotional because as an actor, you put your heart and soul into these things. And every job means, at least for me, every job means this much to me. And every job I pour my all into. But it's so rare that you have a job where everybody else on set feels the same way. And not only that, but the audience, the people that we're making the show for, understand what we're trying to do. And they're there with us, and they're in it with us, and they care so much. And that's you guys. And it means so much to me that you understand the love and care, and you feel the passion that put into the show, and you share that with us. So, thank you. Apologies for the tears. All right, a couple more questions. Thank you for the virtual tissues. You guys are the sweetest. Maze Runner forever. My favorite Shadowhunters episode. There's too many to name. Each episode brought so much. I really do love the finale, though. I think it brought a lot of things full circle, and I think if the show had to end, letting it end in this way is really beautiful. End on a high, end on something that is so epic that we can't even leave so many people speechless. I have to get going now to my next thing, and I'll be seeing you guys later on at AfterBuzz with Luke Baines. Kim and Jade are doing the first hour, and Luke and I are doing the second hour. So I'll see you over there. You should come check us out. Come share. Send more questions. We have more time to answer everything over there. We'll fully break down the episode, fully discuss it all. But ultimately, I say this time and time again, I just have to say thank you. When I was barely 19, this show was brought into my life. And it has truly shaped who I am. It has truly changed my life and my course as a person. And something I've realized is that a lot of that has to do with who and what and the energy that I was surrounded with. And that has so much to do with every single person who was a part of creating Shadowhunters and every person who contributed to the journey, which includes you guys. So thank you for the love, for being there, for everything you've contributed to this journey. And please, please, if you take anything with you from us and from this time and from this show, please let it be that the Shadow Fam, this community that you guys have created, does not end here. This journey, this thing of beauty, this little pocket of positivity and joy and support and love does not go away just because there are no more new episodes of the show. What you guys have built and created and established and this movement that you guys have goes beyond anything and is something so beautiful. And we have the show, we have the conventions, we have the park bench in New York, we have Twitter, we have all of these beautiful friendships and relationships that you guys have made. And if there's anything about Shadowhunters that I know, it's that it brings people together and it forms bonds that will never die. And I hope you carry those with you as we go on to whatever it is that all of us do next. Just know that we're all still here. I'm not going anywhere. I hope you're not going anywhere. We'll always be the Shadow Fam. We'll always be a community. We'll always have each other. So I will bid you all adieu. I'm glad we finally got the internet working. Without further ado, angels, hail and farewell.